Okay, now what you said about the homeless...
What did I say about the homeless?
That you might give them a cushion and a...
No, I didn't say that at all.
You did!
I'll tell you what I said.
It's on Hansard.
You people, I know what's on Hansard.
And also when you were asked
I'll tell you what.
to homeless people during chocolate, you were told it's...
Can you not film me?
No,
Give them all a pillow. Give them all a pillow and a cat and put them in your backyard. Your words.
They were asking you questions because they want an answer.
Do you want to know the answer? You asked me to come down and talk to you, and then you won't give me a chance to talk to you, okay? Look, during the Choggin, let me first of all say, I have helped many homeless people as a Member of Parliament in the last 18 years that I've been in this place. A lot of people in my electorate have come to me and I've helped them. And I've managed to find them accommodation. I know what hardship is like, my friend. I have been through hardship.
Have you spent time on the street?
Almost, yeah. I have, but I know what hardship is.
Have you?
So far this is the excuse, it's not answering the question.
Look.
Let me speak.
Okay, all right, good on you. Okay, look, let me just say this. The comments that I made, look, I regret them. Okay, I regret making them. They weren't directed at you, they were directed to the members of the opposition who were desperately trying to goad me into saying things. They were asking me questions that were nothing to do with the legislation in my portfolio area. And I simply, when they said to me, you know, what's going to happen to the people who sleep on the streets in the security areas, I said, well, obviously they have to find somewhere else to sleep in the city. And then, well, because you won't be able to stay in the security areas.
This is our country. This is our state. This is our city.
Yeah.
Why do we have to?
Because you don't have a...
Because some other government agencies want to come over and say
because
hello
unfortunately, that will be the law. And the security areas are just that. We've got to protect not only the people who are visiting our country, but the people who live in our country as well.
They don't help us.
Well, that's your view.
Can we actually ask a couple of points here, Rob?
Yeah.
One point you've made. You put it out to community, you put it out through the media that you're going to reallocate these people, you're going to work with whomever to house them during that period. One, of course, we can't see why they can't be permanent housing, but how are you going to go about that? Can you live up to that commitment? Because now community thinks these people are going to be housed. And the other big question is, in terms of a homeless-friendly city, drop-in centres, all that sort of stuff. It's one thing to talk about housing, it's another thing to be able to help the homeless. I've worked with the homeless, I know, and you've said you understand hardship. How do you make it, you know, and if you can hear from this chap, that would be good. But how are you going to go about those two things? First one, though, how are you going to live up to the Choggin reallocation of people?
Well, first of all, let me say this. It won't be me doing it, it'll be one of my my ministerial colleagues. It'll be Robin McSweeney, who is the person responsible for helping homeless people. And she is a lady of great compassion, and she will do that through the agencies that are there. She will do that. She's a very, very good person.
We're not after Robin McSweeney.
No, you're after me.
Buzzwell and you.
Well, you're after me, but that's fine. You can have me. I'm here. Okay, I'm here. But the person who will help you is Robin McSweeney, because that is her ministerial responsibility.
Does that mean there'll be more funding for these non-government agencies that are helping?
You'll have to ask her that
question. Send it out.
You'll have to ask her that question. But look, she would meet with you at the time, I'm sure of that. She's a very compassionate person, but I can tell you, she will...
Are you on the Labour Party?
Sorry?
Are you on the Labour?
No, I'm Liberal.
Sorry, you're Liberal?
Yeah.
Okay. So Troy Buswell wants to spend $25 million on his own office. You're Liberal. You can fight against that. Why don't you?
And $60 million
on his Senate. That's a bit of whatever they want to call it.
Look, you've got to get your facts right, guys. It's $25 million on...
We just had the Minister down here telling us
Mr. Buswell's office?
Yeah.
No, Colin Barnett.
Colin Barnett, whatever his name is. Troy Buswell.
Well, you're saying it's Troy Buswell.
Well, look. Expenditure during Choggin, you're also doing $9 million upgrade of Fraser's Restaurant in Kings Park,
which will be there forever and a day, which will be used by the public after that.
For the homeless.
No. But what I'm saying to you is that Robin McSweeney takes very seriously, the case of homeless people and anybody in desperate need of help.
Can we have some timely fashion when this will all happen?
Yes, I'm talking to Robin McSweeney all the time, and I know is putting in place plans for extra accommodation to be able to, so that you people have got somewhere to go, not only during Choggin but other times.
For Choggin, why not house them permanently?
No, I said for Choggin and for other times.
Yeah, they don't actually have all the facilities that we need in terms of...
We always need more. Of course we need more.
But in the interim, the homeless need somewhere safe to actually go, a drop-in centre. They need somewhere where they can wash their clothes, they need safe toilets,
Yep.
they need to be able to get medical attention because a lot of the homeless have physical and mental issues
Yep.
they need to deal with, and they shouldn't be living on the street. There are pregnant women and children, older people living on the street. That's a disgrace to our society because there should be equality and they should be the first people, the vulnerable should be the first people to the house. The money that was going to be spent shifting the homeless during Chopping, why isn't that spent on a house now for those people to actually go in and stay in, not temporary housing?
Well, I'd have to talk to Roy McSweeney about that because
If
I
the
don't,
money's
I don't
there-
deal with that
if the
area
money's there to
of
put them in
government.
with
I
this
don't deal with that
alternative
area. If I
accommodation.
did, I could answer your question, but I can't.
You're all the same.
Well, we're all the same.
Yeah, you represent
No, look,
our government.
look,
And
Can I
at
just...
the moment, most of us are disgraced with our
Go on,
government.
go on.
because
Another thing,
we treat us.
top of this, your cops continuously harassing homeless people all the time. So that's the other issue as well.
So you believe that
Your
police are
cops,
harassing
your
homeless
cops
people?
continuously harassing to homeless people as well. It's a big issue.
Well, I'm not aware of that, but I'll certainly talk to the Commissioner about that and find out whether there's... That's what you're telling me. I'll have
You're
to find
telling
out
me
what
your
he says.
government's full of compassionate people. And
I like to think we
I'm
are.
obviously guessing, I'm obviously hoping that you're all intelligent as well. What is this? And why would the Barnett government refuse construction of 3,500 affordable homes? Because we don't need it, we don't have an affordability problem in this state.
This is the Labour Party. This is the Labour Party.
This is
the Labour Party putting out their propaganda. Okay, that's what
propaganda.
they're doing.
Oh,
Yeah.
look, reports, documents obtained. I'll try and ring the Labour back up and ask them to show us the
You
documents.
ask them to show you the documents, and you ask them to give you the truth.
I
Look,
spent-
they are politicians. We're all politicians in this
I
place.
share-
But I can tell you, look, I came down to talk to you
I'm
about
gonna
the,
just stop you
about
right
the
there.
comments
Sorry,
that
you
I
said
made.
politicians. A lot of us people, also community in general, are tired of hearing we're all politicians. Like, I know all you guys. Half of you guys know me. Politics is a calling. Politics is a calling. You come here
To serve
with
the
an
people.
investiture
Yeah.
of goodwill and
Yeah.
faith from the people
Yeah.
to deliver back
There's
to the
none of
people,
that
not to
being
earn
happening.
150k a year in fringe benefits and double deal and do the backroom deals or whatever on how to stay in power. You're talking now to people who have had it harder than anyone else or whatever. They need you to actually say politics is a calling. Now, I know a lot of your own life story and I know the hardship you've gone through, and I actually shed a tear when I read the Sunday Times article and the last line in that about looking into the mirror. Okay, because we can care about everybody else, we're all human. But you can't stand up here and say we're politicians. You're the one that we have to hear from, that politics is a calling, and that's why
Yeah,
you're there.
but I'm only able to talk to you about areas that relate to my portfolio. I'm the Minister for Police, Emergency Services and Road Safety. That's all I'm able to talk to you about. I can't step into somebody else's shoes, another minister's shoes, and start talking on their behalf. They have got to do that. I've come down here because this gentleman here wanted me to come and talk to him. Okay, it was you, wasn't it? It was you, wasn't it?
It was all of us, mate.
No,
Not just me.
were you the one that phoned my office?
No, that was Corey.
That's
You were
me.
you're Corey, are you? So I
That's
didn't know. You phoned my office and I
phoned
said I would, and my people told you that I would
Mr.
come and
Johnson,
talk
I've
to you
got two things
if
to
I
ask
could.
you.
Yep.
One, why last time when we came here with a petition that was signed by over 300 people, and we sat in Parliament when it was handed to you, did you refuse to take it?
Wrong
Only to
time.
me.
That's all right.
Last time we
No,
came
no,
here,
nothing
we
was-
handed a petition to the Labor Party to hand to you guys.
Well, they didn't hand me a petition.
It was wrong time. It was wrong time. There's a certain
doesn't matter.
there's a certain time in Parliament.
Second point is, I'm going to make a dare for you, Mr. Johnson.
Dare?
Yeah. Or, how do you say
Asking
that
for a
politically?
promise. A challenge.
A challenge. I have a challenge for you, Mr.
Do you?
Mr. Johnson.
Come and spend the night in the street.
I challenge you to live on our paychecks that we get from Centrelink.
For a week.
Okay. No, not for a week, for a month. Okay? Because a week's not going to do stuff all. A week's not going to let them know how we live. And I challenge you to end your parliament, the whole Labour Party or Liberal Party, whatever party you're with, to come out on the streets and see how these people live. Because I tell you, mate, I lived in some disgusting places. I have lived in some horrible, horrible places. Places with fits all around them. Crap everywhere. I couldn't help that because I hadn't had a house.
The main problem is safety.
Yeah, I
It's
appreciate
a violent place on the
I
city
know it
now,
is, and that's
and
why
we need safe places for these people to stay in the interim until they get something permanent.
I couldn't agree more. Look, what I would do is I'll talk to Robert McSweeney. I talk to her all the time, but I'll pass on the comments that you've made here today.
And especially with drug and alcohol.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Drug and
I accept
alcohol
all of
issues
that. What I would do
constantly
with commitment is I would talk to Robert McSweeney. and I will find out from her, because I don't know what the answers are, because she deals with it all, but I will try and find
Ring
out.
me.
And I'll pass you.
He's got my phone number.
Well, we're going to wait
You're
here
head of staff.
until Troy Buswell comes down and Robin
wait,
McSweeney
wait,
comes
wait.
down then.
Troy won't come down.
He may not come down, he's, you know, I mean,
Well,
they've all
we're
got
gonna
things
stand
they're
here
doing.
and do
Well,
it.
that's up to you. That's up to you. You're fully
You can
entitled
put
to
in a
stand
recommendation for them to come out for us.
I spend $300 a week because I share care with my kids. I spend $300 a week in a hotel because I can't get a private rental. Can't get anything else.
What about if some of you got together and rented a house, you know, and shared it
But
between
I'm not allowed to through family court orders.
What,
I'm not allowed to
That would be
share.
a good thing, but do you know how hard it is to actually get a landlord
We would
or a
agree
real
to
estate
To
agent
take us on
to
because
take
we're on
them
Centrelink.
whatever, in terms of references. I've advocated for a lot of people and gone references, duplicity and so, or whatever, to get them a rental or whatever. And so they don't have the background, you know, in the way we actually see things out there. It's difficult.
Yeah,
This is where government's got to step in with this type of accommodation facilities or underwriting or whatever.
Okay.
Just the ordinary
I
people.
understand.
Just the ordinary people
I
can't
Okay,
get a
I spend.
No,
But
okay.
under the family court orders, I'm not allowed to share with anybody. I'm not allowed to.
Oh, okay.
But I do appreciate you coming down to see us.
Look, I will pass on your
Appreciate
comments to
it.
Robin, I'll promise you that. Yeah, no. I'll
You
pass on
actually
your...
made the effort, so I appreciate that.
Thank you.
He's had a hit.
I will pass on your comments to Robin, okay? And I will
And Troy?
stress... well, you're talking about a lot of housing for public housing. That's something that you
There's 700 empty houses.
yeah, but you'll have to talk to Troy about that, okay? I will pass on your comments that you've made in relation to some desperate need for accommodation for homeless people. I will do
It's
that.
not only for older people, it's for youth as well. My girlfriend's 16 and I'm 17.
There are-
We are unable to get
There are
a
women
home
that are
space
pregnant.
or any sort of house because we are under the age.
Well, you're only 16 and 17 now, I agree. You are, because you're still a child.
Yes, but that's not the point because we're living on the street and we have nowhere to go.
Yeah, but there are some facilities that are taking young people.
Yes, but that costs over the amount of my Centrelink.
He gets smitten compared to what the rest of us get. And you guys are going to be relying on these non-government organisations during children. They're overstretched now.
They're all
obviously,
overpaid now. I call Crisis Care every day to get a house and a place for my girlfriend to me and me to stay, and we are not able to get in there.
Well, look, I've listened to what you have to say, and I'm sorry for you, I truly am. And I do know what hardship's like. I haven't been to the stage where I've had no bed to sleep in at night time, except that I've been through a lot of hardship. I don't mean the other things that the other gentleman said. I mean, as a young person. But I will pass on your comments to Robin McSweeney, and I'll see what we can
I
possibly
won't
do
go
to
as
try
far
and-
as young
what we
man.
can possibly do to try and help homeless yourselves have a bed for the night and somewhere safe.
I won't go as far as young Matt, but I will put a challenge down. On a Saturday night, come and spend the night out in Northbridge or in Perth and see how safe it is for us.
I have actually spent. I haven't slept
Come and see how the
overnight, but I
police
have-
treat the homeless.
Well, you say that, and I will come and see that. Okay, I will do that.
Robin, in
Okay.
the interim, can you guarantee a meeting between one of the people here and
Or a few of us.
I've already
I
got
can't
meetings.
guarantee it because I can't speak for Robin McSweeney,
I'll talk
but
to
I will certainly talk to her, and I'll ask that.
keep it going?
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is what I did with your office is when I spoke to your head of staff, and he said if you didn't come down today, I was going to ring him back, and he'd organise sometime during the week to meet a group of us. Well, I'm going to do that with Troy Broswell's office, and I'm going to do that with Robin McSweeney's office, because obviously today they are busy. Right.
Okay.
But-
Well, that's probably the best bet. But in the meantime, I'll pass on to Robin McSweeney in particular. You know, the concerns that you put to me today.
And then we can put across exactly what's
I
so
know.
that she knows it. I was write down exactly the request that need addressing
I agree.
priority and then take it step by step.
Of course. Yeah, well, look, I can do that. I can do that, not a problem. You know, and I'll see if you know, she can arrange a time to meet with you and discuss your urgent needs. But I can tell you, we don't want to see people sleeping on the streets. We want to see
We're going to
people
keep going
in a
with
safe
this until the day
we
that
want
we
to see
are
you
all
in a safe
housed.
environment.
And your cops are very racist to homeless. Your cops are very
Discriminative,
racist.
not racist, discriminative.
Discriminatory or not.
Well, you say that, but what I'll have to do is I'll have to talk to the Commissioner about that. But I'll spend the night in Northbridge fairly soon, and I'll have a walk through pretty late at night, and I'll see whether your comments are true and your comments are true or not.
Can I talk to you on a different issue after? If that's possible.
I've got to go
2
then
seconds.
now.
It's about your emergency services thing. You're in charge of the emergency services and police and that.
Well, I'm in charge of the fire brigades and things like that.
That's
Not the ambulances, they come up
Yeah,
the
no,
road.
you're in charge of the call centres though as well, aren't you?
Call centre, yeah. For emergency services, yeah.
I'd like to talk to you.
All right, well, I'll have to do it another time.
Yeah. Do you have a card that I can call you on?
No, but your friend Corey's got my number, so he can give you a number. Okay, so
I'll arrange for a meeting.
Okay.
Thanks, Bert.
All right,
Thank you very much, Mr. Johnson.
All the best, guys.
Yeah, you too.